in practice for a good few years.
Okay.
I called a firm of solicitors in London wanting to speak to one of the partners who was a friend of mine who went to university with me. I called and someone answered and I gave my name and she said, "Oh, that name sounds familiar." The receptionist is saying that to me. "Well, did you go to Hertfordshire University?" "I did, yes." "Oh, I know who you are." And then she said, "You are such and such, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh, don't you remember me?" And then she gave me her name and she said, "I am such and such." I said, "Okay, so what are you doing working as a receptionist or answering calls?" She said, "Well, basically when I was doing my law degree, I couldn't decide whether to be a solicitor or a barrister, so I finished my law degree and then I decided to do my master's because I thought I'll do my master's and then I'll make the decision. And I've done my master's and I'm still deciding whether to do the LPC or the BPTC, and in the meantime I'm doing this job."
Okay.
Okay. And obviously we started together in the same year, and by then I had already started practicing and I was a good few years into practice, nearly 3 years into practice. And she's still working as a receptionist and still hadn't done the LPC because she hadn't made the decision. The point I make is that I think, you know, when you leave before you leave your house, you first make the decision where you are going to go.
Exactly.
Only then you know in which direction to drive or to walk. Okay? And I say that you must make your decision first, decide where you want to be, and then you'll know how to work out the route to get there. And I think that every single person should do that. And some might say, "Well, hold on, how can I do that if I don't know enough about solicitors, if I don't know enough about the barristers, how can I make that decision so early on?" That's a good point. But do your research then.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your research first, make the decision, and then start taking the route. Because halfway, yes, you might make decisions, but that may well be half-hearted because you might end up changing your mind and so forth.
Exactly.
So it's always good to have a goal, and my advice is that is the most important thing, I think. If you know from the moment you are setting out where you're going, you know exactly which way to go. You will be able to find the shortcuts. You will know, you know, what is the best route. And my advice is, above all else, is that make that decision before everything else. If you have to change your mind, there's nothing wrong with that. Once you've done the law degree, or let's say you've decided to become a barrister, and then you change your mind towards the middle of your law degree, and you want to be a solicitor, that's not a problem because you'll be needing the law degree anyway. So all you have to do is work out the route to the bar rather than the solicitor's profession. So there's nothing wrong with changing your mind, but first make up your mind about something and go for it.
Thank you very much, Saiful Bhai. That's very good advice. I think viewers, our students, viewers actually, those who are watching to this program, and I think you'll be watching the repeat program as well. So it is a very good piece of advice for you by our honorable guest, Barrister Saiful Islam. So I think if you are in first year or second year of your law degree, or even third, if you have just finished your law degree, then you should actually make up your mind what is your next, what's gonna be your next step. And this is what exactly told by our honorable guest. Thank you, Saiful.
Can I just give an example?
Please do. Please do.
Not to work out your next step you should know from your final destination. Let me give you an example. As barristers, when we prepare for a case, do you know what the first thing, after reading the papers, what the first thing we do?
If you can tell, please.
Write out our closing speech. Because it is our closing speech that tells us what we need to do in the middle to prove the closing speech. I know it sounds strange. So for example, you know, your closing speech is what you want the judge to know. And then to make that, to get to that position, you need to ask certain questions to get the answers to get to that conclusion. So you have your closing speech, and then from that you work out the questions you need and the answers you need to get to there.
Okay.
Okay? So if you start writing down the questions, how do you know specifically what questions you need answers if you don't know what the point is you're trying to make?
Yeah.
Okay? So exactly the point. Your next step is not what you decide.
Yeah.
Your next step is decided by what you want to, where you want to go.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's actually very interesting. And yeah, I totally actually agree with you. I totally agree with you. Thank you very much, Saiful Bhai. We are actually having a very lively time. I think viewers, you are watching our Legal Hour, and thank you for watching Legal Hour. So, Saiful Bhai, is there anything you'd like to add before I ask you before I ask you a question?
No, I think I've covered the bit about the advice. Of course, there are lots of things I can say, lots of advice our students need, but from my experience, I've found that making the decision is where people stumble upon. I mean, as a lawyer, it's linked with your profession as a lawyer. As a lawyer in court, there are situations that you face and you will have to make difficult decisions on the spot. Okay? Simple as that. So you need to get into that habit. You have to make difficult decisions, make a decision, and give it all you can. If you discover later that you've made the wrong decision, the moment you discover that, change your direction. Make the next decision and go for that. But do not change. Do not just decide the next step. Decide where you want to be, and that will give you the route to it.
Thank you very much. That's very inspiring. But I will also now. I'm going to a different set of questions now. Obviously, we heard about BBL. We started about your opening remarks, your success story. We discussed about some of the areas of law. Now, I would like to particularly emphasize on one of the topic we come across sometimes, that is the power of attorney. So if you can actually focus on that, please.
Well, I'm glad you raised it because it's a very, very important one. It's one neglected in our community. I'll explain briefly what a power of attorney is. A power of attorney is a power that you give to someone you trust to do things on your behalf. And there are different types of powers of attorney. You can give a specific one for people to do only a specific task. You can give one to somebody who to be able to do everything that you can. So you can decide. Powers of attorneys are important. Now let me give you the scenario of someone, a situation where there isn't a power of attorney. A husband and wife, neither of them have powers of attorney in favor of the other. The powers of attorney I have in mind is one which is used to be called enduring power of attorney. Now it's called the lasting power of attorney. And so you have a situation where husband and wife does not have a power of attorney giving the other the power. If one of them has a stroke, and I have experienced it, I have seen it real life happen somewhere. If, for example, the husband has a business, they have a bank account and they do everything, and the wife is, just normal, being the full-time mother and so forth, has a stroke. He's not able to sign papers. He hasn't got the right mental capacity. He's not in a state to do anything. What happens to everything else? The wife is not able to sign documents to get money out of the bank. The wife is not able to do anything. The wife can't sign. She cannot do anything on his behalf. Can he give the permission from his hospital bed for her to do things? No, because he's not in the right mental state to give that permission. That position was before he had the stroke, but that's too late. So the process, what she has to do then, she has to obviously go to a lawyer, go to the court of protection. The court of protection will appoint a trustee or and so forth. That person will do things on behalf of the unwell person with a stroke. Everything that is spent from the estate or the assets of the person with the stroke, you have to keep a receipt for. That trustee is usually a solicitor. and they cost thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
They cost thousands. You're looking at, basically not 1,000, 2,000, thousands, okay, for nothing.
So I will come back. Sorry for interruption,
That's right.
সাইফুল ভাই। আমাদের সাথে বেশ কয়েকজন কলার আছে, আমরা দেখি কে আছেন।
Sure.
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। হ্যালো 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 হ্যালো, কে আছেন? হ্যালো, আমরা মনে হয় কলারকে হারিয়ে ফেলেছি। সরি for interruption. Apni, if you can
So
carry on, please.
if they don't have powers of attorney, then the situation is that you have to go to a lawyer, go to the court of protection, obtain the orders, have a trustee appointed, and they cost thousands of pounds because it's the lawyers you have to pay. But the person isn't even able to get any money to pay the mortgage. How are they going to pay thousands of pounds? And they don't usually qualify for legal aid in this situation. So it's a very, very difficult position to be in.
Yeah.
If, for example, the same situation, but let's say they had powers of attorney. So the wife had a power of attorney in favor of the husband, and the husband had a power of attorney in favor of the wife. If they had that, then the moment this person had a stroke, that could have just been registered. Yeah?
Okay.
And that's it. All she has to do is provide a copy to the bank, provide a copy to everybody, and she could have started signing things on his behalf.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I think they cost only a few £100 for solicitors to prepare.
Okay.
Few £100.
Sorry for interruption.
I don't do it, but solicitors.
Sorry for interruption, Saiful Bhai. I'm going to take one call. Okay. Is that okay? Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hello, কেমন আছেন?
আমি ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
জি, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ ভালো আছি। ভাই, আপনার কোশ্চেনটা কি?
আমার একটা প্রশ্ন জিজ্ঞেস করার ছিল।
জি, carry on please.
আমি বর্তমানে টিয়ার 1 ভিজিটে আছি। আমার এক্সটেনশনটা সেকেন্ড এক্সটেনশনটা চলতেছে।
ওকে।
আমার আইএলআর হবে মে 2016 এ। আমার স্ত্রী এসেছেন, ওনার 2016 ওনার 2 বছরের উপরে হয়ে যাবে। তো উনি কি আমার সাথে আইএলআর পাবেন, না ওনাকে আবার ডিপেন্ডেন্ট এক্সটেনশন করতে হবে?
থ্যাংক ইউ ভাই, আপনি ফোন করেছেন আমাদের স্টুডিওতে। আমি আসলে কি বলবো, আমি সরি আবারও, কারণ আজকে আমাদের যে লিগাল আওয়ারে যে টপিক সেটা হচ্ছে অন সিভিল অ্যান্ড কমার্শিয়াল ল। উই আর নট ডিসকাসিং ও গিভিং গাইডলাইন্স অন ইমিগ্রেশন ম্যাটার্স। সো আনফর্চুনেটলি আমি আজকে ইমিগ্রেশন ম্যাটার নিয়ে কোনো আনসার দিতে পারবো না। আমার গেস্ট আজকে হি ইজ স্পেশালাইজড অন সিভিল অ্যান্ড কমার্শিয়াল। So if you have any question on those areas, please do ask. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Hello.
আমার কিছু কোয়েশ্চন ছিল।
জি, আপনি একটু জোরে কথা বলেন।
যে এখানে যে সলিসিটর সাহেব, ওনাকে আমি যেহেতু একটা বাংলা চ্যানেল, এখানে যদি উনি,
ভাই আপনি একটু জোরে বলেন।
আমি চাচ্ছি আর কি বাংলায় যদি উনি কমিউনিকেশনটা করেন, আমাদের বাংলা টিভি তো এটা তো সবাই বুঝবে।
আচ্ছা, no, first of all, let me correct you. He's not a solicitor. He's the barrister, and name is Saiful Islam. So, আপনার কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে ভাই? Sorry. আসলে একটা জিনিস সাইফুল ভাই ইন্টারেস্টিংলি
can I just quickly respond to that? The caller was saying that Bangla Mata Usit. I think he has a valid point. Bangla Mata Usit because viewer are in Bengali, oneke English buzen and so forth. And of course আমি বাংলা মাতমু generally যদি স্পেসিফিক বাংলা প্রশ্ন আয় দেন বাংলা উত্তর দেওয়া উচিত, বাট আনফরচুনেটলি আইছে না। আমরা জেনারেল সিভিল ল সম্বন্ধে একটা আর ই টপিক হল লাগি জেনারেলি যে কনসার্ন আছে তারা কিছু ইংলিশ জানা আছে এনিওয়ে। সো পয়েন্ট টেকেন, and of course কোনো বাংলা প্রশ্ন আইলে বাংলা উত্তর দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করব ইনশাআল্লাহ।
বাট এইগুলো আসলে আমরা the topic we were discussing আসলে it's not very easy to explain those in Bengali, in Bangla. So that's why there are some terminologies. So we have to maintain English. So thank you, viewers. আপনার concern আমরা নিচ্ছি, আমরা ইনশাআল্লাহ চেষ্টা করব. But one thing very interesting, sometimes I come across, because I've been doing TV show for a long time, and আমাদের ইভেন ইন সাধারণভাবে দেখা যায় যে আমাদের সাধারণ জনগোষ্ঠীর মধ্যে they don't have clear concept about solicitor and barrister, so they get confused.
It's a bit like,
but don't take it offense. So
no, of course not. Of course
you
not.
understand.
Of course not. Yes, I think it's not only our community in this country.
In this country,
for example, in America, you've got lawyers. Everyone's a lawyer. In this country, you've got solicitors, barristers, which is one of the very few countries where they have this separate.
Also, we have chartered legal
executives as well. So it's understandable. It's not a problem. But of course, solicitors are qualified lawyers, just like barristers are. So no problem.
No problem. So সাইফুল ভাই, আমরা আসলে কথা বলছিলাম পাওয়ার অফ অ্যাটর্নি নিয়ে, বাট আমাদের মনে হয় সময়ের শেষ প্রান্তে আমরা। সো আপনি যদি কুইকলি এটাকে র্যাপ আপ করতে পারেন প্লিজ।
Power of attorney, I just wanted to add that, of course, power of attorney should only be granted to those যারা আপনার লাইফ দিয়ে ট্রাস্ট করেন।
ওকে।
বিকজ ফর এক্সাম্পল পাওয়ার অফ অ্যাটর্নি আপনি যদি একজনের কাছে দেন, তা একজনের নামে দেন যে আপনি যেটা করেন হে করতে পারবো, দেন ইটস ডেঞ্জারাস আনলেস এই মানুষের বিশ্বাস করা যায়। সো অন দ্য ওয়ান হ্যান্ড ইটস ওয়াইজ টু হ্যাভ পাওয়ার অফ অ্যাটর্নি, অন দি আদার হ্যান্ড ইটস আনওয়াইজ টু গিভ ইট টু দ্য রং পারসন। ওকে, সো ওটা দা মনে রাখবা। But otherwise, I mean, recommend kori jani ta amra chinta kora, because obviously heart stroke kundin hoibe, heart attack hoibe, whatever happens, we don't know. But in situation of we may not have thousands of pounds to pay lawyers to deal with things. So it's easier to pay a few hundred in the beginning, have this sorted, if necessary, have it locked up somewhere so they don't get hold of it until then. And then, if people fall into this trap, inshallah, there is a key to get out of it.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Saiful bhai, আমাদের আজকে স্টুডিওতে আসার জন্য এবং for your time. আমরা ফরচুনেটলি অনেক ভিউয়ার্স আমাদের সাথে ছিলেন আজকে, যদিও ইটস এ ডিফারেন্ট এরিয়া অফ ল, বাট বেশ কিছু কল ছিল ইমিগ্রেশন ম্যাটার নিয়ে। ভিউয়ার্স, আনফরচুনেটলি আমরা আপনাদের ইমিগ্রেশন রিলেটেড কোয়েশ্চেন আনসার করতে পারিনি। তো আমি যাওয়ার আগে আমি ছোট্ট করে সাইফুল ভাইকে একটা আপনার ক্লোজিং রিমার্ক একটা রাখার জন্য আমি অনুরোধ করব, আপনি ছোট্ট করে যদি কিছু বলেন।
Basically what I would say is anything that involves law and you think is complicated and it's legal, it's always best, my opinion, although it costs a little bit, it's best to speak to a qualified lawyer before you do it, because by trying to save a few hundred in the beginning often ends up costing thousands in the end. So it's better to as they say, prevention is better than cure.
Exactly.
Okay? So I ask people to seek to prevent problems rather than fall into the trap and then look for a cure, because that is much more expensive.
Thank you very much, viewers. আপনারা শুনতে পেরেছেন আমাদের আজকের অতিথি ব্যারিস্টার সাইফুল ইসলাম। He is practicing, he's specialized in civil and commercial and practicing in 3 Dr. Johnson's Buildings Chamber. So আজকে আমি আবারও ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আমাদের অতিথি ব্যারিস্টার সাইফুল ইসলাম। And আমি আসলে এই কথা আবার না বলে পারছি না যে I'm very much privileged to have you here today with me and have this show. And inshallah we'll see you again. ভিউয়ার্স, আমি আপনার কাছে অ্যাপোলজি করে নিচ্ছি, আজকে আমরা ইমিগ্রেশন ম্যাটার নিয়ে কথা বলতে পারিনি। ইনশাআল্লাহ নেক্সট উইকে আমরা কথা বলবো, এবং আরও আমরা অন্যান্য সপ্তাহে আমরা চেষ্টা করব ডিফারেন্ট এরিয়াজ অফ ল নিয়ে আমরা ডিসকাস করতে। আগামী সপ্তাহে আপনাদের সাথে আবারও ফিরে আসবো আমি আমাদের অন্য আরেকজন কমিউনিটি লয়ারকে নিয়ে, to benefit you. You'll have the opportunity to see different lawyers in different episodes, but obviously we'll have also the opportunity to bring our same guest again and again. So till then, we'll see you tomorrow. Till then, please stay with us and watch our repeat program Sunday from 11 p.m. till 12:30 a.m. Till then, please stay with us. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Lord, change our hearts Actions are judged by their intention, and every man shall be judged accordingly. And whatever you keep inside of your heart, it cannot be hidden from him.
এরপর দেখবেন দার্সে কোরআন।
Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you, Allah. Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you, Allah. Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you, Allah. Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you. Oh my Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you, Allah. Oh my Allah, you are my Lord. I bow to you, Allah. Oh my Allah,